Hey everybody, I know it's been a little while. I want to take a little bit of time to do an update on some of the stuff kind of going on, what I've been doing. Don't think that I've been lazy. I've been somewhat a little bit depressed about all the stuff going on with the Camino, don't get me wrong. It's been a more than a fight to say the least, and everything accumulated with that. But I want to take a little bit of time to show you kind of what I have done to the El Camino. So all the disc brake stuff was already done, the front brakes, the new sway bar. We have the serpentine system on the car. We have different valve covers, different air cleaner. Need to spin that around so you don't see it on it. We have the ACES fuel injection stuff set up. We got a fuel gauge. I need to spin that around. Know that's not even got pipe sealant on the threads. We got the headers there. Now the radiator nulls in, brake stuff. And then back here, I've been working. It's going to be relatively tough to see this, but you'll see the 12 bolt is in the car, the sway bar. We have the CC501 F41 springs. We have tubular upper and lower control arms, which those bad boys are made by Spoon. So I just got them. Now underneath here, it's all been blacked out. That's a stainless steel fuel line I ordered from Jegs. The bottom side of the car is already blacked up and undercoated and stuff. So we did all this back here. Still need to paint a little bit of stuff here. I'm going to finish stripping it. There's some rust there. It's kind of hard to see. You can see a little bit of it right up there. Then I'm going to touch it up before I finish it up. So basically, big thing now, I need to put the tank's fuel injection tank together. And what a game plan is, we're going to put the fuel regulator right there. I got one of the Corvette type fuel regulators, so it's got a return line basically built in. And I may have to trim and fit. Most likely I'll be able to bend that stainless steel line. I know it's a pain in the butt, but well, there's a will, there's a way. That stainless steel brake lines all in there. All the stuff still needs to be tightened up. I need to put the shocks on it. Shocks on. But it is coming along. So looking pretty good. So hopefully game plan is get the gas tank in it, get the fuel lines hooked up, and knock that out. And then some of the stuff I've been doing inside the car, I think, since the last time. I've got the retro manufacturing radio in there. And this is more of their budget-minded radio. I don't know if in the last video if I showed the picture of the tack or how I got it hooked up. So I'm going to run it. I'm going to drill a hole in the backside, run a grommet through here. So that way it looks all nice and fancy. Now, the neat thing about the way that's set up is when you're in the seat of the car, it doesn't really go anywhere in your vision, field of vision when you drive. I mean, it's there. Dash pad comes up to about here. So it's really not, you know, some of those big old goofy 5-inch tacks, you put them in the right spot, especially on an A-pillar, it's going to be an eyesore and take a lot of your field of vision. So I got that stuff done. Underneath there, we have the 2 5/8 gauges. So we got oil pressure, water temp, and we have vacuum. I want to see, keep an eye on that as I run and drive it, put miles on it. So it's moving forward. We still got to, I still have to finish putting the classic update wiring kit in it underneath the hood. Majority of the wiring harness inside the car is ran. It's all routed where it needs to. But the only thing I'm still worried about, because I got the brand new vintage air stuff over there, is the back of that glove box. It's going to need to be cut in sections. We are looking at about 2 inches that are going to need to be cut off the back end of that bad boy. That way we can put that vintage air unit in this thing and knock that out. And I think I still got to order the vent that goes here, and then the vintage air comes with a brand new piece that goes in there with the sliders that controls your hot, your cold, and your fan speed, stuff like that. So it's little bit by little bit moving in the direction I want. Got inner fenders here for it, so I can do that. I need to put them in so that I can go ahead and route all the AC line stuff, since I've already got the condenser mounted on the front. We got the horns mounted under there. Been getting stuff done, bulkhead for the wiring harness. So we need to get these bad boys mounted, and then what I'll do is I'll pull them back out. Most likely we'll gloss black, and I will probably base clear them. I figured that would look good. They're AMD pieces for the front of it, and put the splash shields on it. And I got stainless steel staples. I'm all about the stainless on it. It looks pretty. Drill the holes, put them on. Now I've also powder coated. These are the tank straps that came off of it. I didn't even realize they were stamped. These are powder coated gloss black on both of them. So that stuff's good to go. And other things. This was a remote reservoir for the power steering. So I got this bad boy here, which should mount perfectly right over here on the inner fender down there. Trim that line, the return hose a little bit, so we got a little extra space there. I'd say this bad boy is coming together pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Just slowly knocking out little things here and there. And let's get over here. We got a coolant overflow tank. Make sure that bad boy doesn't run hot. Make sure we got an adequate amount of coolant in it. That, I have the linkage for the column. I am missing the fork, though, that goes on the transmission selector shaft. So I got to go try to find one of them. Never a dull moment here. Always something to be doing to knock that out. And then another big thing is I've started doing the body mounts. I have ordered them from Osley's. So we'll scoot back here. I'll kind of show you what happened. And it's really rather unfortunate. So the back body mount, which is normally in here, decided to break the cage. So I've got a brand new cage nut and everything I got to clean up. I'm going to take my little belt sander, come in there, clean the best I can, weld it down on there. The other side was fine. It came out apart, no problem. Hopefully that is not going to be a continuing problem with all the others that I got to remove and replace. But it dang well could be, unfortunately. So, I think she's looking pretty sweet underneath there. And more stuff that I've gotten. I dug into the quarter a little bit and see it's probably pushed in about 3/8 of an inch. I'm guessing something drug down the whole side of the car. So somebody was having a rough day. You know, probably parked on the side of the road and, you know, fixed up real nice. Okay, so got that stuff. And then to show you, still got to finish putting the ACES fuel injection stuff in there. We'll knock it all out. Now, keep in mind, with this ACES, I have the upgraded computer that will work with the HEI distributor. So that shouldn't be a problem. We'll, put it right in and knock it right out. Brand new windshield for the car. So it's hanging out until I get all the stuff. I still got to do some rust repair on the top there. Last thing I want to do, it raining on the inside of the truck. So we'll knock it all out. I'll knock it all out. Get that all done. But little bit by little bit, you know, it's a project and make it work. And then one of the last things that I have ordered is, this is an A body. I want to say 64 through 72 is what they claim. Stainless steel Jegs exhaust. When I ordered it, no joke, this bad boy was $189. And this is stainless steel. So it's 2.5 inch. It's a header back. Now, I got those mid-length headers on there. So what I will have to do is get a 45 and some extra pipe. Basically, the stainless steel version of these pieces here. Maybe a little bit of straight pipe too. So that I can put that in there and section it in and weld it. Now, for mufflers, keeping with that budget-minded theme, you know, because everybody wants to be a baller on a budget. We've got these bad boys right here. So we got the knockoffs of your Flowmasters. And these are the exact, keep in mind, same mufflers now that I have on my 68 red Camino. So they are a chambered muffler. They're stainless. The texture when you see them in person is more of a brushed stainless. I don't really care. It's under the car. But the best thing about stainless is you're not going to be replacing it. The welds look somewhat nice. They're okay. They've been addressed. It looks like someone's taken like a flapper wheel to some of it and knocked them down. But overall, once again, under for a car that you're going to drive a lot, it'll probably be perfectly fine. So the unique thing about this, or fun part I like for saving money, I want to say in the mufflers and the pipe, the whole kit was like $260, I think, shipped to my door. So really can't beat that. It's a super good bang for your buck. I am debating on possibly doing band clamps. most likely I'll just run the regular 3-bolt clamps, 3-bolt collectors on there just to knock it down to 2.5 to get this thing all sorted out. So if you stayed here this long, thank you for watching. I will do very soon an update on the Camaro, and just to kind of show you what's going on with it. I've pulled the front end off the car. I'm still dealing with insurance, so don't ever expect anything with these cars to ever be quick. I'll probably get into it a lot more soon, but the firewall here, it's kind of hard to see it, but it's actually pushed back probably about 1/8 of an inch. It might even be 1/4. You can tell it's more pushed down here, so it's like down back here, and it kind of slopes up, so it's pushed back. The Raider Sport's destroyed, it's known, and then that fender rail, I mean the frame rail right there is really messed up. I went ahead, started ordering some of the parts to get the car back together, so stuff like headlight bezel, grill, the upper and lower stuff for the chrome on the car, and then other things, that same thing you can't see with the car before it was apart, is look how bad this thing is just wrinkled. Like, don't get me wrong, that stuff's factory, but look where the paint is messed up from where it bent. Oh, it even pulled out one of the welded nuts in the inner fender. So, and unfortunately, as you can see, it was really pretty, but it's same thing. It's all bent up, and it's hard to see it here. I mean, there's small stuff here where it's bent, pushed in, but when you actually stand back from the car, you can actually see a lot more of the damage to the car. So, still trying to work on that, figure out what we're going to do with this thing. I mean, like I said, it's going to be fixed. It's just, what does that road and process of having it fixed look like? I mean, at this point, I'd like to go ahead and get the frame under the car and then take it to a frame shop to have them make sure, because a lot of people don't realize the fact that the frame is bent on this car. These Camaros don't use a whole lot. There's basically 4 bolts. There's 2 in the front, and there's 2 in the back that bolt to the floor. And the problem is, when that front end comes up, back comes down, so it'll pull the floor down. So before any front sheet metal gets put on the car, you have got to make sure that your foundation is solid. You got to make sure that, you know, I mean, it may be a 1/4 inch, but a 1/4 inch with a lever that's, you know, 4.5 foot long, that can be a huge difference in trying to fit the front stuff on it. So the car still runs okay. I started it up and let it run a little bit. I pulled the radiator, the fan off. It literally has messed up my billet cover on the front, where I guess the billet cover was into the back of the fan motor, which was brand new a couple weeks before that. So needless to say, I'm super disgusted with the stuff with the car, but give me a little time. We'll get back knocking this thing out. Now, other big update is the shop, as you can probably tell, is a lot more clean, a lot more organized. There's stuff, you can tell exactly where it's at. So we're moving forward on that. And then another couple things that I've been doing, I've been working a little bit on the stuff for the 69 Camaro, meaning that I have a carburetor now for it. So everybody knows that car is a Copo car, or Copo clone is what it's going to be. So what I did is I purchased from eBay. Now, hopefully eventually I'll find one that's date right. That is, if it'll focus in there, because you got to have the right date carburetor on stuff. That is a 4346 Holly. It's a 780 vacuum secondary carburetor. Underneath it, you'll see it's a 062. So it's a 1970 dated service replacement carb for a 69 L72. And I want to say it may be on the High Horse 375, 396 also. Problem is, when I got it, the front metering block was completely wrong. It didn't have a power valve in it. I was like, something's not right here. This is a later model replacement. I purchased a second carb. Now, that one's even later. I think it's an 80-something carburetor replacement, 80s, 90s. But I bought it just for that metering block, where after I found this one on there. So that's a 5583, and that's what it should be. But newer stuff, for everybody that doesn't know, working on old stuff, the later model replacement carburetors, they stamp underneath the metering block number, the carburetor number. So technically not right. It's not 100% right for the car anyway, as you'll see the back Squirter Boss, which would not have been on a 69. But, you know, it's better to have something close. If I find a better carburetor, you know, I'm definitely going to put it on there. But that's a 5-minute bolt on. It's not a redo the whole car kind of thing. But I'm very, very glad how the finish came out. I ended up putting it in the parts washer, the Vevor. And I have Pine Sol in it. And it did not remove any of the finish. So it looks really, really nice. Still need to clean this, put the power valve in it, throw it back on. But that is something I will get done to get the motor in the car. And then next thing, hopefully before too long, I should be able to go ahead and drop off that engine. Because, I mean, what's cooler than a 427 69 Camaro to get this thing all at least started and get the front end off and then start doing some of the body work on it. So, once again, thank you for watching. Continue to watch. I promise here some of the stuff in the future is going to be really super interesting. And it's going to get a lot better. I'm going to get hopefully have one of my buddies start to hold the camera so you can actually see what craziness that we all get into. Or at least I get into and you can follow along. So, thank you for watching.